Performance Nutrition. I'm the Senior Territory Rep, and I'm here with Kristin Layher from Layher Show Horses in Pilot Point. We're going to visit with Kristin today and talk about her 2 years of being on Prime Performance and what it's done for her horses. Thanks for coming. Absolutely. And by the way, we are at the 2022 APHA World Show on location doing this shoot. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
So, as we just said, you've been doing Prime Performance now for 2 years. Can you tell me a little bit as to why you chose us and about your program and your training facility?
Yeah. Obviously, we knew each other and had a friendship, and I'm a huge believer in supplements. I think these horses are athletes. I think they need vitamins and supplements to keep going and to refresh their body. And so you really got me hooked. You just kind of slid in a few products and instantly saw the difference within 30 days. Yeah. Especially, I'm huge on everything in my barn gets the vitamin E oil, and the hair coats, the appetite. I mean, it really shows a huge difference. All my horses have dapples. You know, with these horses, we're on the road all the time, and you can't ensure the lights, the in and out of air-conditioned arenas, you know, in different states, different climates, and I never have trouble with my horses eating on the road or their hair coats. I mean, it's really just incredible.
Do you feel that because the whole barn is on the healthy e-oil, what has it done? What has that healthy e-oil done for you in your feed program? Have you been able to decrease the amount of feed that they're eating, or?
Yeah, I have a lot of hunter saddle horses, which tend to be very oversized, very much in the 16-3, 17 hand. We do a lot of breeding, so growing these babies up, I mean, it is very important how much feed they're getting, you know, versus like too much and too little. And as everybody knows, Huntsy horses can be, you know, a nightmare to put weight on, and that oil just really, they eat every pellet of their grain, and for the youngsters, it really helps manage, you know, being able to let them not, you know, have full scoops of grain, because sometimes during that growing process you have to slow things down, and it still keeps all the vitamins and nutrients in their body, and they don't go through that kind of nasty looking wonky stage as bad, you know.
You're able to grow them a little bit slower because they're gonna mature over 16.
Absolutely, and the oil just, you know, it supplements in what you might be backing off of in feed.
I know in the past when you've had a bunch of young lunge liners, your customers were on the junior cow.
Yes.
For the bone development.
Yes, absolutely. Weanlings, as soon as they're off of their mothers, and sometimes even, I mean, some of those ones that want to get so big or so, you know, shaky in the knees, I mean, that junior cow, we feed the crap out of it. Like, every baby gets put on it, and they stay on it through their yearling year till they are ready to be supplemented over to some of the more mature adult horse supplements.
And then you're a big believer on the vitamin E for
Yes, that's my heart supplement right there. I really think the vitamin E, and what I love about your guys' product is it's so pure. There's nothing mixed in with it. It's not diluted. It's easy to feed. And there's so many unfortunate things that come with horses that we don't know a lot about, whether it be like EPM or PSSM. And I just think vitamin E is an all-natural supplement that really helps so much of those problem horses, and then also preventative. And now with you guys having the hair analysis testing, I just think that is fascinating. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that every horse is different. Every single one of them is different. And if you can understand more about them and more about their DNA and more about what they may or may not have, I've learned a lot about PSSM through you, and how to supplement for it and how to change the feed for it, you know, because you guys do the legwork for us.
Well, what's cool about that hair analysis test is blood is now, urine's what's being excreted, and we're testing what's being stored.
Exactly.
And what you just said, you can have two of them coming out of the same pasture, because what we have found is the heavy metals are mostly environmental that are being stored in those mussels, where you can have two of them coming out of the same pasture with two different.
Exactly, not near as affected. And why? And again, it goes back to just immune system, DNA, genetics and stuff. And like you said, if you don't know that about that particular individual, I've had ones with just weak immune systems. They catch everything that goes through there.
Right.
But to be able to test them for things and just know more about them, or know, does it need to be on the E at a younger age, or so many other things that you guys offer. I believe I haven't even tapped into half of the things you guys have to offer supplement-wise, and you've helped me tremendously. I mean, you're a phone call away all the time, a text message every time about, Rhonda, this horse is doing this. I don't understand this. And, okay, let's get some results. Let's figure it out. What does he need to be on to be at his top prime performance?
So I want to touch on your program, but before I go off of the supplements and prime performance, on our supplements, what is important that we do for you, and why, besides me?
Yeah. You're amazing. Literally, she gets a text message. I'm like, refills necessary, please. So you're amazing to work with. And, I think it comes down to, I've used a lot of supplements. I've been in the horse industry a long time, and I saw the results. I mean, it's so easy to see the results. And I think that was the biggest selling point to me. I mean, literally.
And have you had one that wouldn't eat something? I mean, is the palatability there for you?
Absolutely. I've never had a problem yet with anything I've tried, and I really think I almost need to get into more. The turnover rate of horses right now is insane, and so I need to catch up. I see new products just as I'm sitting here. The Calm Bee, I'm a fan of that,
right?
Especially with hunt seaters. I mean, oh my God. So yeah,
and it's not so much for the horses as it is.
That too. Yeah, that too. Oh God. Yeah. Can we start going into human products? I would love a good tranquilizer for a non-pro.
Exactly. The Assure GT, like I had mentioned to you, that's brand new.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because it's a little bit of a combination of the Allo GT and the Pro Form. And as you know, you were just at the Pinto World. Now you're here at the Paint World. And the digits, it's been so
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And a lot of the horses have quit eating. And it was cool because at the Pinto World, I took a tube, and it's 2 doses per tube. And I took a tube over to a halter trainer that had a yearling that was not eating. And I went over, they were out to breakfast, I dosed the horse, and the trainer came back like an hour later from breakfast, and she had everything.
Everything gone, yeah.
I think for you guys being out on the road, it's a huge deal to have a box like that, just like the Calm Bee or the Recharge when you're traveling, 6
Absolutely.
hours, and those big horses are on the muscle, and we got to get the lactic acid out of them.
Yeah,
so they can go on and perform freely.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one more feather in Prime Performance's cap to evolve with new product that makes it easier on y'all.
Absolutely.
Not having to carry a gallon of Allo GT and a bucket of Pro Form. So we're just trying to make things easier for you guys going down the road. It's like, okay, well, I'll just grab the tube rather than loading all the pails up.
Yeah.
So I'm just really pleased with the way that Jeff has just keeps bumping
Absolutely.
out.
And that's what I think about your guys is I know you've been heavy in the show pen before, and it's nice. You have to have those people that understand what these animals go through. And I think Jeff is just, I think, the sky's the limit for him. I mean, you guys are constantly putting out new products and constantly coming to us and saying, what more do we need to offer these athletes? What are you struggling with? Are you struggling with, building them up for their performance? Are you struggling with after their performance, bringing them back down? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you guys really, I've learned so much through feeding these supplements and more about, these animals being athletes.
And what's cool is with Prime Performance, all the testing.
Yes.
That he does.
So many answers.
We just don't go mass produce something when we're thinking about a new product, and when we do get it formulated, it's months before it ever goes out to the public.
Absolutely.
Because we'll send you some,
yep.
We'll send, barrel racers.
Yeah, and that's what I love is the variety. You guys aren't just, stock show horses. Like you said, I mean, you guys are ropers, reiners, barrel racers, thoroughbreds, hunt seat horses, lunge liners, breeders, and that says a lot, to be able to, again, going back to Jeff, the sky's the limit. He's just really broadened everything. He wants to know from when that thing hits the ground to when it retires what it needs.
Right. So, now, on a personal level, let's talk about you. Tell me your claim to fame. I've known you, but the audience doesn't know you. And let's talk a little bit about Kristin.
Yeah, my passion is hunter saddle horses. I've been in love with the English since, I was 8 years old and started all of this. I've also had such a passion for the breeding and the babies, which has gotten me into the lunge line. And so for me personally, those are my bigger goals and for myself. Customer-wise, it's a different gig and it's about them. And I do love watching them gain confidence, learn, put in the time, and the rewards of it. So we do a lot of all-around non-pro pattern stuff. I can be known to be a little hard. We have a lot of no stirrup policy at my house, so it's kind of a make it or break it. I've had a lot of my girls for about 10 years now, and I just have the most amazing customer basis. 2 years ago when I did bring in Prime Performance, not one of them balked, you know what I mean, to call and say, hey, like we're gonna dive a little deeper into a supplement thing, we're gonna really believe in this. We're gonna get on some accounts and every horse is gonna be on it. I mean, we're signing up for this, and I mean they're just amazing. Whatever you think is best for that, for our horse. And
well, you're talking about your horses and training. I know that a lot of your clientele, they're athletes as well.
Yes.
And they're big on taking care of themselves as well as their horses.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you have any youths in your barn at this time?
I do. I have one. She's 13. Her name is London, and she showed her paint horse in the 13 under hunter saddle here and got to win.
Yay.
It was very, very special.
That's
very
awesome.
Special win. Yeah. So.
Was this her first world show?
Yes, it was her first paint world, and then really her first. She's been doing the novice in the AQHA and the level 1, but this was her first. That's a huge title for her. And she rode a really, really special horse. His name is I'm All Good. He's by All Time Fancy. And it was really cool. It was really
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to her. I know that there's one horse in particular that made you famous.
Yes.
Can you tell us about him?
I have a horse named Cleo. I bought her when she was off of her mother. Her registered name is All Pretty, and she's just very special to me, dear to my heart. She's, a 17-hand hunt seat horse, and her big lofty trot. I mean, she kind of walks around on stilts and just has this Ichabod Crane look to her. She's, be so awkward, and then you braid her up and you throw the English tack on her and you send her in, and it just is awestruck, you know.
Like
yeah.
showtime.
Oh yeah, she knows it too. She knows it, and so she's very special to me, and she's let me over the past couple of years just get some of my personal goals and stuff like that. And I've had so many, I've been so lucky. I have so many great customers and so many really neat horses. I think that's what it takes. Like, yes, I do my job, but these horses, I mean, for all of us horse trainers, it's just about getting a good one. Just getting a good one that wants to be a show horse.
What about one particular stallion?
We did. We had a horse named the Big Sensation, and I was very lucky to be a part of him during some of his show career, and then I personally took control over him when he was retired and went to the breeding barn. And some great customers of mine, Teresa Merritt, she owned him, and Lacey Merritt, her daughter, showed him, and he was such a neat individual. I mean, he's by Zippo Sensation, who is iconic, and so the pressure of that, being as young as I was at the time, was a lot. He crossed amazing on all-time fancy mares, which, you know, coming from Kansas City and Peggy Nouse, that's, you know, where I originally came from. So to have that control of producing those and putting those on the ground, it was so special and it was so neat. And those horses, both those stallions right there, really led the way for me and have just done so much for my career.
And primarily the horses that you've got in right now are all-time fancies?
I have a lot of all-time fancies right now. Yep. I went back to the drawing board of where I came from, and they're just so cool. They're show horses.
Timeless.
They are. And I mean, he himself is 24 years old, and I just went and saw him probably a couple months ago, and I just can't believe it. I mean, he's such a unique individual. And so we have a lot of those. We've also, a lot of my customers have started tapping into the quarter market as well. We've really, we're probably 50-50 right now. And I love it. I love meeting new people. I love getting into new things. Originally, before the paints, I had come from the quarters as a kid. And so yeah, we've got lots of stuff in the works.
The NSBA.
My favorite horse show. My absolute, that can be Disneyland to me.
That's fixing to come.
Yes, and I'm giddy already. I'm excited. I love it.
So the horses have now left here.
Yes.
And they're back home.
Yep, they're home. They're
resting for the NSBA, but still being worked, still on their supplements.
Yep.
What is the NSBA doing for you?
Oh my gosh. That program our association is amazing. I got to get accepted into the NSBA Tomorrow's Horsemen. And I just cannot tell you how amazing that association is and how much they care about their horse trainers.
So tell the viewers a little bit about Tomorrow's Horsemen.
Yeah, it's a program that they came up with for younger up-and-coming horse trainers and kind of horse trainers that have probably been in it, you know, on their own. I've had my business for 10 years, so I'm kind of more at the top end of how lengthy. And then we have some that are on their first year of owning their own business. I have some great classmates. Elise Roberts, I mean, God, she's like, you know, I mean, won everything in the Hunter in her saddle. She's incredible. Dustin Eichenhorst, he is a dear friend of mine, and he does all three breeds as well, and is right there in town with me, so lots of closeness there. But the program is just, you know, so many of us horse trainers, our college, our school was being an assistant. And when you do that, I mean, there's just so much that, you know, you're always in the barn, you're always riding, you're so focused on what makes an animal win. There's so much more behind the scenes than that. There's so much. Running a business is just not something you're prepared for, no matter, it's not.
It's like when you call me and go,
right.
Please, tomorrow.
Please, Rhonda, save me. Right, I'm at this location now, this hotel.
And it's cool because, you know, we can do the auto ship and all of that. for you guys that are super busy on the
Yeah.
road, that you don't even have to think about, you know.
I never. It's a text message to you. I
Yeah.
never think twice. I'm like, she's got me.
Yeah, and we you know, and down the road, you know, as right now is your busy time, so we could even potentially set you up on an auto ship.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, figure out what you're doing and how you're.
Where you're at.
Well, not so much how you're doing, but where you're at in your supplement program.
Yeah.
By the day, with as many horses.
Absolutely. And it's so handy too, because you guys do all our big horse shows. I know I don't have to pre-order for Pinto, Paint World, NSBA, Quarter World. You're there.
Right.
I know. I can just swing by the booth of it. Oh, Rhonda must be at dinner. I'm going to take all this with me and text her, you know. So.
And I don't mind that, because I have people come up, hey, I got this, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. I mean, you guys are just, it's so much more than just a business partnership, you know, deal.
I try to, you know, be there for you all.
Yeah.
Each and every one of you trainers.
Absolutely.
And what Prime Performance does is we really pride ourselves on communicating and customer service
100%.
with our trainers, with the folks that buy our supplements. We're here for y'all.
Yeah, you've nailed it.
And
You
like
guys have nailed it. I mean, that's, you know, like you said, you're the one that, you know, slid some supplements across the table and said, hey, if you don't see a difference, don't call me back, you know. And I mean, literally, I couldn't dial you fast enough.
Right.
So.
And, you know, you've had one of my horses in your barn, and I think, and he was young.
Yep, Loper.
And, that's when I think you really saw, hey,
Absolutely.
see what it's doing for this building.
Yeah, and he came on it. He was already on it, exposed to it, and to see the difference of, you know, what he looked like, and, you know, I just love it. And I explain to people, you know, I've gotten a lot of new customers this year, which is super exciting. And, you know, right when they come in the door, I'm like, hey, this is included. They're on this oil the second they get in there. They're on this vitamin E the second they walk through the door. Then after that, we can break it down to what that horse personally needs. But those two products alone, I mean, those are game changers.
Right. And that's pretty cool that you've got us set up with your feeding program.
Yeah.
And your customers do know that, hey, this is what they're on.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Exactly.
wavering.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming back down here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to working with you. Good luck at the NSBA.
Thank you.
And we will see you at the Quarter World.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kristin.
Thank you.